I started going out, partying, drinking when I was about 16. Now this isn't crazy, at least not in the UK. It's quite common actually. But see, from this drinking, I started to try weed, and then I tried other hard drugs, and eventually I was doing drugs every single day. You see, our life is determined by our influences. The biggest sobriety trigger is bad influences. Of course, the main one is who you're hanging around. See, because if you're going around all these people, you're going to be the next drug addict of the group. Now look, I'm not blaming my friends. I'm not blaming anyone's. Of course, there's multiple factors that go into an addiction, but by far the biggest one is your influences, and not just the people you're around, but the social media influences, the movies, the shows, all this stuff that you're taking in. There's a saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, but in the modern day also includes media that you're consuming, either TV, social media, whatever. All of it affects your brain, all of it affects who you are. See, you're teaching your subconscious who you are, especially when you're hanging around people. We all know the saying, birds of a feather flock together, and it's true. We all become like one another. Maybe it's some old gene stuck into us from when we were all living in tribes, because of course the outliers, they were kicked out, they were shunned. We all need to get along, we all need to be similar. This is why we're drawn to people who are similar, but this is also why we morph and we become more like the group that we're around. Look, if you're getting sober, it is vital that you're around the right people, because it will be nearly impossible if you don't really think you're going to go out and that night out and you're not going to touch any drink, you're not going to touch any drugs when everybody else is doing it. Even if them people aren't pushing it on you, you will still be so tempted. No, you need to become like the caterpillar. Yeah, you may need to isolate yourself, you may need to put yourself in a cocoon for a short period of time, but after that means you can emerge as a butterfly. This is so important. I've seen this for myself. I'm now 2 years sober. When I was getting sober, I tried going out. I tried going out with my friends sober. It wasn't working out. I was still drinking, and then when I got drink in me, I was doing other hard drugs. I had to isolate myself during that period of time, and I'm so grateful for it that I did, because I completely transformed from it. There's a saying, a man is most useful when he walks alone because he reflects more. And during this period of time, this period of massive transformation, you're gonna need a lot of reflection. You can't have all this noise coming at you, telling you who you are, what you should do, what sort of things you should enjoy, like going out, partying. When if you're watching this video, you know you don't enjoy that anymore. You know it just causes you suffering. You know long term that it's bad, it's boring, it's horrible. But when you've got all these people going around, even if you're looking at social media and you're seeing people post pictures of them going out, you'll think it's fun. That's maybe why we started in the first place. We've seen other people going out and it looked like fun. Our brains are stupid sometimes, they can really be tricked so easily. So I recommend deleting social media too, or at least not looking at the normal stuff you look at. Look at self-improvement videos, look at stuff like this that will help you. See, because it goes the other way too. Good influences affect us too. It's almost like positive brainwashing. That's one of the biggest reasons I got sober, was watching people tell me a better way, tell me a better life. Even though I was doing drugs at the time, I was like, yeah, all this doesn't really apply to me. But eventually I seen the light, I seen how stupid I was, I seen that I was just punishing myself day after day, week after week. You know, being lonely temporarily, far better than being stuck forever. I mean, realistically, most of these people you're probably not really friends with. If all you do together is get high, get drunk, most likely they're not your friends. Now maybe some of them might be, but the only way to see that is to get sober and see how they treat you, see how you treat each other when you're all sober. Because it really says something if you can only see each other when you're fucked up. You know, maybe those first 5, 10, 20 minutes when you're all sober, maybe that's the real you. You're all talking to each other, maybe you're bickering, arguing, and then oh, it's all fun, it's all games when you're all drunk and smiling. Fake, it's a facade. You know, and this is why most rehabs don't work as well, because they get the person in that right mindset, they get them sober, they get them clean and feeling great, but then boom, they go right back to that same group, that same area, the same people. So of course they're going to fit right back in. Like a chameleon, they're just going to change their colour and go back to their old self. You know, there was a study done on rats, you might have heard of it. Basically they were testing the addictiveness of drugs like cocaine, and they put cocaine in the water with these rats in cages, and the rats, they would drink themselves to death. A lot of them would drink themselves to death, so everyone was like, whoa, cocaine's so addictive, it's so addictive. But they thought about it. They thought about how the environment that they were in, these cages, these small, tight cages, like the one you built up in your mind, And they thought this could probably have an effect on the rats. So they built an area, they called it Rat Park. And see, rats, like us, are social animals. In fact, rats, their brains are very similar to us. That's why they test these stuff on rats. So they built a rat park. The rats could play with each other, move about, run about. Really good environment. And sure, some of the rats would try it, but they wouldn't go back to it. It just shows the importance that the influences our environment, external, internal, that has on us, that has on our addictions. If you're wanting to grow, if you're wanting to level up, yeah, you may need to isolate yourself. You may need to isolate yourself for a small period of time to find your true self. You're not going to be lonely forever. You will find friends like you. Just remember, you're better than that bag. You're better than that bottle.